What do you get when someone has an interest in stadiums, obscure countries, and too much time on their hands? You get a video about the Moldovan Superliga stadiums. Stadionul Suruceni. We start off with a stadium that is a little bit... hang on. I've got to decide on an adjective that means sh**, but it's less insulting than sh**. Yeah, we'll go with humble. We start off with a stadium that is quite humble. You could even say that it is an utter piece of humble. It's basically what you would expect a typical Moldovan stadium to look like. It was built at the height of the Soviet Union, more or less, and it looks as though it hasn't had any work done on it since Stalin died. Oh wait, no, that was basically when they just started constructing it, but you know what I mean. It's looking rough. As are these apartment buildings over here, although I must say, they do look kinda cozy tucked away back there amongst the trees, and they must have a nice view of the ground. Centro de Tineret Nisporeni is similar to the previous stadium in some ways. However, it was rebuilt in 2021. They say rebuilt, but perhaps renovated would be a better term, because surely if it had been entirely rebuilt, they would have rectangularized it. I mean, it doesn't look like the running track is of much use anymore, other than from that car over there pretending it's a speedway racer. Anyway, in addition to this club, the stadium is also the home of the Moldova under-21 team. It is a nice enough stadium, it's looking clean, and I'm sure the capacity of over 5,000 is more than adequate. I just wish they covered up where the track used to be with something more appealing. Like artificial turf, or maybe even a giant Persian rug. Actually, a genuine Persian rug that big would probably cost more than the stadium itself. Also, Persian-made stuff probably isn't in vogue at the moment, given that Iran makes a lot of the drones that are bombarding Moldova's neighbour, Ukraine. I don't know why I'm talking like the Persian rug idea was even on the table in the first place. Complexul Sportiv Raional Orhei. This ground also acts as one of the homes of the Moldova national rugby team. Ooh, let's play a game. Let's try to guess where they are currently ranked. Well, not every country plays rugby, so I'm gonna say they're 42nd in the world. Let's look it up. Ooh, oh god, 59th. Right behind Kazakhstan. Yeah, that's to be expected. I mean, it's a tiny country. Oh look, Wales are at number 60. I knew they'd dropped off, but geez. This club, however, is actually the league's reigning champ. You may be surprised to hear that, especially considering that Orhei is approximately the 10th largest city in the country, with like 25,000 inhabitants. That's like if Bradford were Premier League champions. It's just never gonna happen. I'm sorry, Bradford, I like your stadium, but it's not happening. Their only hope is if they get taken over by J.K. Rowling and change their name to Gryffindor. They wouldn't even need to change their kit. Stadionul Municipal is situated in Hinchesty, a pretty little town that's even smaller, with just over 12,000 people. So once again, you might be surprised by the performance of the local club, Petro Club Hinchesty. They're currently sitting at 3rd place on the league table. It's hard to imagine a team that plays at a stadium like this has had only one loss out of 14 games so far. But as the old saying goes, don't judge a club by its clover. Clover being like a more poetic way of saying grass or field. Yeah, we'll go with that. Don't judge a club by its clover. I like it. It's not actually a bad stadium, just very small. It is, however, nearly 3 times larger than the smallest ground in this league. We'll get to that one later on. Sheriff Arena is the odd one out in this league, but not for the reasons you may be thinking. It's situated in the region of Transnistria, which is a breakaway state that predominantly speaks Russian rather than Romanian/Moldovan. Sheriff is the most successful club in the league, partially due to the fact that it's owned by an oligarch, Victor Gușan, who not only owns Sheriff, the football club, but also the conglomerate known as Sheriff Corporation, which has its tentacles in just about every industry in Transnistria and employs around 6% of the population. It's probably safe to assume that he owns the local sheriff's department as well. You know how it is in these places. But yeah, Sheriff owns supermarkets, hotels, car dealerships, factories, a phone network, petrol stations, and much more. That's the kind of cross-sector dominance that Jeff Bezos thinks about while he spanks the monkey. But of course, you could only achieve such dominance by bribing politicians, which we know would never be allowed to happen in the US. With all those successful businesses, you're going to have plenty of money to spend on a stadium. And yeah, this is one of the nicest stadiums in the region, I suppose. Stadionul Suruceni. You couldn't even fit all the days of the year in here. Not even a leap year. Weirdly, the smallest stadium in the league is home to 2 clubs. It's basically just a field with a few portable stands set up alongside it. However, the lack of concrete allows the spectators to take in the beauty of the surrounds, whether it be the rolling hills on this side, or this interesting looking building over here. I do love the traditional architecture in these parts, Romania, Hungary, Moldova. They give off fairy tale vibes. And I suppose the good thing about Moldova is that the beautiful old buildings aren't going to be overrun by tourists. It's a funny one, that, because I am a tourist, yet I also despise tourists. Is this nature's way of telling me that, deep down, I truly despise myself? That was today's introspection section. Stadionul Zimbru is the biggest stadium in the capital and the biggest stadium in the non-separatist part of Moldova. But Sheriff is still the biggest in the country, even though they don't want to be part of the country. In case you were wondering what Zimbru is, well, it's just the name of the club that plays here. That doesn't really answer the question, does it? But that creature on their crest does. Hey, what's a Zimbru?
It means bison. I'm a European bison.
Cheers. Hey, do they eat bison in this country?
Nah, bruv. I'm a protected species.
Okay, that's good. One more question. Why do you sound like a sheep?
Everyone tells me that. I'm so sick of hearing it.
Sorry.
Do I have to feel self-conscious about my voice all the time? Can't I just live my life?
Moving on. The stadium's steeply stacked double-tiered layout gives everyone in the house a good view, and perhaps also enhances the home ground advantage, which they certainly need when they play the mighty Sheriff. Surprisingly, the stadium cost just $11 million to build in 2006. You certainly get good value for money in these parts. However, that means that construction workers are probably being paid very poorly, so that's not really a good thing. James May of Top Gear fame would be a fan of this stadium, as it's situated on Dacia Boulevard. Dacia, or Dacia as it's pronounced locally, refers to an ancient region that was situated in what is today Romania and Moldova. So there you have it. As for my favourite, I think I'm going to go with the last one we saw. Stadium Bison thing. Yeah. Now it's time for extra time. I mentioned the traditional architecture of Moldova earlier, so let's take a look at some of the most famous examples. Here is Soroca Fortress, located in Soroca. Beautiful, yet imposing. Here's Capriana Monastery. Okay, this one's got more of that typical Orthodox Christian look to it. Not really what I'm talking about, but still nice. But if we could go back to more of the, okay. This is the Chisinau City Hall. Clearly it's not. Never mind. I guess we got a good look at the variety of architecture in this country anyway. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.